Welcome back. It's your man Blocka Blocka TV. Back with another video. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guaranteed to be content on this channel that you are going to want to look forward to. This is a Gun Talk TV show, so let's talk guns. In this video, we're going to talk ammo shortage of 2020. And the question that everybody has is, where did all of the ammo go? So, guys, let's get into it. First of all, let's see. The ammo shortage of 2020. Let's first discuss what ammo is. It's more scarce. Right now, probably the scarcest ammo out there is 223 and 5.56. 5.56 is more than 223. Pretty much the same round, slight differences, but depending on the barrel that you have in your firearm, there's some of them are recommended. One's recommended, one's not. Let's not get into that. But 223, 5.56, same thing, pretty much. And then right behind that is 9mm, and just behind 9mm is 380 when it comes to not being able to find the caliber that you want. And then I would say after that is 7.62 by 3.9, I believe. That's the AK round. And there's a shortage, guys, and the shortage is, there's a few factors that's causing the shortage. And some of those factors are years, 10 years old almost, in that 7, 8, 9, 10-year range. One of the oldest factors is during the Obama administration, there were, the government bought up billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of rounds of ammo, and it was given out to many different government agencies. Were becoming basically what seemed like militarized, but they were given the ability to carry firearms in certain agencies that were previously not even deemed as being a necessity to have that happen. And the government, which most people believe that that was just a way of getting around the rights for people to be able to bear arms by taking away the bullets. So most people believe that the government actually bought up the bullets so that there's no bullets. You got guns, but no bullet to be able to put in the gun. But there was billions of rounds bought during the Obama administration. That's one of the underlying factors, because if that's the case, and if those agencies never use those ammunitions, then they're sitting in warehouses. Billions and billions of rounds of ammunition is sitting somewhere in different places around the country, somewhere in government facilities, just sitting there when they could be in the hands of not just the government, but the public that is sometimes scrambling to find just one box of ammunition just to practice in your new firearm. Another thing, guys, that was part of this issue is for a while there were no particular, especially self-defense guns. There were no guns on the shelves. Like 9mm, you couldn't find 9mm handguns for a while, for a few months this year. So, and then you had 380 falling close to that, and now the market is starting to show some signs of being open back up to the firearms coming back. There's more 9mm being available. They're being snatched up quickly. If you go to any of the gun sites and you see 9mm for, especially the budget ones, anything under, I would say $500, that it's all being, they're out there. They're just being bought up real fast. Everything from your your Glock 43, Glock 42, the Taurus, the G2, the G3, the G3C, um, even the Sky 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all flying off the shelves. Even older things like let's see, older things like the 380 Bodyguard. Those are flying off the shelves. The Spectrum, the Taurus Spectrum. I've seen those things at 200 and almost 250, and they're flying. They're there, and within hours, it's sold out. Like I spend a lot of time just looking at. I'm a numbers person, so I spend a lot of time looking at inventories and seeing what was on certain sites and how long they last and what the deal is. So I've been hunting these things for this is one of the things I do for fun in my spare time is just looking to find things that a lot of people can't find, and that's one of my things. And those and what else? What other guns are being bought up a lot? The Springfield, the 911 Springfield. Those are going. You have depending on the site you go to, the Shield, the 380 and the 9mm EZ. Those are being bought up a lot. There's a core of particular 9mm that are being purchased that are more popular than others, and a lot of people are going for these, especially first. A lot of this is okay. A lot of this is driven by first-time buyers, and most first-time firearm buyers, they are not looking to spend $500 and up, between $500 and $700 Glock money. They're looking to buy the budget $300 range, $200 to $300 range guns. So a lot of those guns are being purchased by first time gun purchasers, and it's because of the climate that we're in these days with all of the racism and all of the things that are going on that's causing people to feel like they have to have something to protect themselves, which a lot of these first time gun buyers, they are people that were dead set against guns in the first place. They just did not believe in guns, and now a lot of people are starting to face situations or be afraid because of media that things are being overhyped to a point where people are afraid to even leave their houses now with the pandemic and the crazy thing around masks and all the problems that people are having, some people not wearing, and then you get into altercations. So people are just for the first time feeling the necessity to arm themselves. And the market, as we see it, was not made to facilitate this level of engagement from the public. So the problem with what we're seeing now is with all of the fear factor, you have people, new buyers buying ammo and buying guns. And then with guns, then you need ammo to train. And then they tell you that some guns need 200 rounds to break in a gun before it's ready. So you have, when you're buying most people buying a new guns, they're recommending that the gun be broken in 200 rounds or so, 100, 150. So as opposed to a person coming and buying a box and with their new handgun, and they go on the range and they just try it out, make sure everything functions good. People are buying 4 or 5 boxes with their new gun. So you're buying the new gun purchaser comes into the market that's not expected to come into the market, and then that purchaser is purchasing 2 and 3 boxes more of ammo than the average person that already has guns or is familiar with guns, or that just comes in to buy a gun because they want a gun or a new gun, and they're gun people or just not opposed to guns. Those are your typical people that would come in to buy a gun. So they're usually buying a box or 2 with their new round, with their new pistol, or they're going into the gun store or going into a place and buying a box to replace a box that they used at the range the last time. They're not. Most people are not buying in bulk. But then you have those people who, every time they see instability, then this is what they do. They stock up on ammo. They buy tons and tons of ammo, and it's like a lot of them are buying ammo for themselves. But then you have some people who, it's a small percentage of the people, but they get a bad rap. But those people, they go and they buy ammo to sell because they know that they could turn a profit. Just like any industry, there's people in every industry that wait for these times. Just like look at the stock market. There's people that take advantage of the horrible times that people go through sometimes, being kicked out of their homes, being evicted, being late on their mortgages, late on rent, and they have anywhere to go. And then those people sit back and wait for people to lose their homes or people to be at the brink of losing their homes. And then they come in and they take over someone's homes. They pay their tax liens, or they come in and they as soon as the sale goes to auction or whatever, as soon as the house goes into foreclosure, they're there to pounce on that. So it's no different. Every industry has this. I mean, if you look at right now, there's been for the whole spring, since I would say probably since February up until today is what, July 24th. So up until about the beginning of July, it's starting to come back around. But up until the whole spring, there were almost no bikes, unless you were looking to spend $250 and more for a bicycle. There were, for any adult or kid-sized bike, like 20 inches to the 27-inch range, there was almost no bikes to be had, unless you were willing to spend $250. And people were, bike shops and other stores, retailers, you're spending at least $250 for bikes that were $100 and some odd bucks at any other given time of the year, and anything other than this pandemic. And nobody expected that. These things that we're facing with the coronavirus, this new normal that they talk about, these industries are being hit in ways that nobody has ever, even the Great Depression couldn't have brought about these type of blockages in the markets at the same time, to where it's a global thing. In the United States is going through Great Depression, but other countries did not face a Great Depression. But now you have all of these different players at the very same time. And when most of the United States goods are imports, then you have a disruption in the markets, and bullets is no exception. It's all about the supplies that you have and where they come from. If you have less supplies in-house, then you have to go outsource them. And the United States is no different. So having all of these things that make up bullets and make up the firearms, and the fact that a lot of these things are imported from other countries, that slows down the market. So you have the bullets, the ammunition is scarce out there because you have people buying it for profit. You have people stocking up on it. Some people have been telling people for years to stock up on ammo, stock up on food, do this, do that. And then when a disaster happens, then everybody's panicked at that point. So most of this that you see is panic buying, and it starts to trickle back slowly into the market. If you know where to look for ammunition, you'll be able to find it, and you'll be able to find it for prices that are pre-shortage or real close to it. But there are places that are basically, they're price gouging out of the wazoo. And there's gun sites that are notorious for every time something goes wrong. You guys know those sites where they jack up the prices. There's many places where I'm seeing, in some instances, regular Target 115 grain ammo, 50 round box, $20 $30 for a 20 round box of 9 millimeter. And that's just that's just it's baffling. It's mind blowing. But because of the shortage and because of the panic buying and because of the fact that people are willing to pay it, it's being there. These people are constantly pumping it out like that. But there's a lot of at this moment. What I've noticed over the last week or so is that if you catch the right places, they have a stock that is obviously they're getting more than the average place is getting, and they're being able to service people. But you have to act fast because you may be able to get it at almost pre-panic prices, but there's people that are buying. There's no limit to the amount that you can purchase. They don't have a 1 box limit or a 10 box limit. So if you're trying to buy 2,000 rounds, then they're not stopping you from buying 2,000 rounds at certain big box stores or certain outlets that are getting, is a glut of ammo, but it's not showing up on most places that you would look for it because the people who know where to look are already there waiting for it to appear. And as soon as it does, they've pounced on it. So knowing what to look for, knowing where to look, you'll know that there's a shortage still, but it's not as dire as it was a few weeks ago up until this point. But it started with the lack of firearms, and then the lack of firearms kind of made people panic because there's no the 9 millimeters, the self-defense weapons, the 223s and the 380s. The firearms were becoming scarce. So then you had people panicking over that. And so like, I'm going to get one eventually. So if the firearms are scarce, then probably the ammo is going to eventually be scarce. So they're like, well, I may as well get ammo for the pistol or for the weapon that I want. And then I'll keep hunting for the weapon, and eventually I'll get that. And when I do, I don't have to worry about the ammo and when I get the weapon. And that's what a lot of people were doing as well. They were pre-buying ammo, and then while there was a shortage on the firearms, what that did was cause, again, people that were normally not buy ammo to buy ammo, people that don't have a gun. There's all these different factors that came into play, and now the markets are basically short on ammo. And there's different factors, but most of it is panic buying. And everybody that understands panic buying, you know that after a certain amount of time, everybody has gotten all that they can get. Everybody has spent the money that they could spend, and the markets will start to correct itself. But the problem is this pandemic it's a game changer in the sense that we have entered into a time where all the gloves are off. There's no set anything. There's no set way that the market is supposed to work, or that life is supposed to go. You have to wear a mask, but then you don't have to wear a mask. They're going to take your guns, but then nobody's going to come for your guns. We're going to have an election, then we're not going to have an election. There's all these different factors that are at play. We need vaccines, but then we don't need vaccines. Like nothing is being a definite anymore. There used to be people that said, this is life and this is how life is going to be. These are the laws, that's it. But now you have people that are working out of pure chaos, and they're controlling the markets out of chaos. And that's how we have to function. Yeah, but guys, this is the world that we're in. And it's not looking like anything is going back to the way that it was. It's about adapting to changes. You have to adapt to change, and the markets change, attitudes of people change, time changes. So you have to be willing to change to move forward. I'm not saying that you don't have to hold on to your beliefs, but the way that the world works, the way that things go on in the world, you just have to adapt to those things while holding on to your beliefs. But yeah, Blocka Blocka TV. This has been a discussion on where did all the ammo go, the ammo shortage of 2020. Crazy thing about this, guys, is that we don't know at any given time how long this is going to last and what's next. I've watched many YouTubers who have who frequent gun shops and places, big box stores that they purchase firearms and ammo and outdoor things from, and other videos of other YouTubers who actually own gun stores, and a lot of them are even caught off guard because they are facing a point where they've always been able to have access to, even if it's a little bit of nothing, they still have access to that little bit of nothing. Now it's to a point where some of them won't even return firearms because they don't know when they're going to get a new one in. So they're selling things that may not have previously been desirable, like blemish firearms are being sold just as though they were immaculate, brand new condition. So anything short of mechanical failure, they're selling it, and they're basically getting, top dollar. In some cases, depending on the caliber, they're getting even more than this time last year that they would get for that rifle or pistol or whatever. So we're in this, guys. We're in this. There's no way out of it, because unless you control the forces that are in play behind the scenes, then you don't have any skin in the game. All you can do is what you can do, and that's everyone. All we can do is what we can do. Not saying you can't do anything, because it doesn't take much to make changes. It just takes the willingness to actually make the changes. But I'm going off into something else, though. But this has been Ammo Shortage 2020. Where did all the ammo go? If you guys know some stuff that I don't know, get in the comments. If you guys think that what I'm saying is right, get in the comments. If you think that what I'm saying is just out the crack of my, then say that as well, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this ammo shortage. If you are actually stocked up on ammo, or if you're looking for ammo and you can't find it, certain firearms in there, just tell me what your guys' experiences is. Again, this is Blocka Blocka TV out.